Hello, welcome to the box room. All right, I have been to the basement, and I have another box. Some of it, well, some of this stuff is, I believe, oh yeah, it's for an Atari, which, you know what, I might have one downstairs. Anyway, this is Circus Atari, used with paddle controllers. And there's others. What do we have here? Concentration, used with keyboard controllers. Once again, I can tell by the cartridge type, it's the same type for one of the Ataris. I'm not sure which one. But while we're on the Atari kick, let's see what this is. Combat, tank pong, as a visible tank, biplane, jet fighter, used with joystick controllers for the Atari. Oh. Game program Codebreaker, used with keyboard controllers. I have no idea what it is, but I will put it in the pile of things for the Atari to be figured. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. We're getting into Vic-20. Look, an 8K RAM cartridge. Now, has it been tested? No. What else do we have here? Home Babysitter. A cartridge for the Commodore Vic-20. Has it been tested? No. Mission Impossible for the Vic-20. Another game. Looks like it's had a bit of a rough life, that one. Or maybe, you know what, it may be that the original plastic protective thing is still on there. No, maybe not. Anyway, here for the Vic-20 is Clowns. I really do need to get out a Vic-20. And what do we have here? Oh, well, we have a mystery. But right close by here, there is the plate from the game. Metal, actually. And it says it's for road race. Maybe this is the one. It would seem to make sense. Maybe. I'll leave it with it. When I test it, we'll find out. There are other things in this box besides cartridges, by the way. Here we have Adventureland. And it's funny, because mostly, of course, with cartridges, you're supposed to just put them in, plug them in, away they go. This one is not that way. It even says at the front, don't forget to type SYS 32592 and hit return to start your adventure. All right. What else? Aha. Cosmic Cruncher for, yes, the Vic-20. More cartridges. Jupiter Lander. This, too, has seen a bit of a rough life. Nothing a magic eraser probably couldn't fix. This looks dusty. The filth of the ages of time. The Count for the Vic-20. I have no idea what this is. A lot of these, you know what, I was never really that much into games, but I'd seen a lot of them. Oh, we're not done yet. Sargon 2 Chess. Another fantastic cartridge for the Vic-20. Getting the pile up here. Aha, now this one. Ha 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 ha. Made by Atari, but for the Commodore Vic-20. Legendary Donkey Kong. I hope that one works. If nothing else works, I hope that one works. Are there more? Oh, there's another. But there's more stuff in here, don't you worry. Cosmic Cruncher. Made in Hong Kong, it says on it. I want to get all the finish the cartridges and we'll move on. Okay, here we have Year's Revenge for some sort of Atari. And here, Pac-Man with joystick controller for the Atari. Yes, it is. It's Pac-Man. I gotta find out if I can test that. I gotta see what I have. Oh, here's a cool thing. I have not, didn't even realize I had this. Okay, it looks like the plug of a data set that something went wrong with. But what it really is we see when the Plus 4 came out, and maybe the Commodore 16, they changed all the plugs, and was like, what the hell? And of course, somebody over, I guess it was in Japan, said, oh, well, there wasn't room. But some people think it was more sinister than that. Anyway, so here, this end would plug into a Commodore 64, or a PET, or a Vic-20, or a 128, anything that had a regular dataset port, and allow you to use this strange plug. So if you had a dataset from a Plus 4, or I guess a C16 or whatever, you could use it. Wow. I didn't even realize I had that. Now, are there more cartridges? I don't think so. I think what we're getting into now are all sorts of bits of hardware. For example, here is, people say, the little box. Ooh, okay. This cable is going. The little box that attaches to the TV with a 64, they say, oh, that's the RF modulator. Well, it isn't. The RF modulator is built into the 64. This cable is, oh, that's too bad. Oh, you know what? I can save this part. This would go to the back of a TV. It would. And then hook into the Vic-20 RF modulator. Whoa. And that's a good thing if you're using a Vic-20 with a television, as many people did. But this cable that is attached to it, hello, come on. It's wrapped around pretty good. Maybe I need to loosen it some more. Or maybe it has. Does it have connectors? I don't think so. I don't know. It won't come off. It doesn't want to come off. See, there are teeth on this thing. Well, maybe it actually has connectors. Bother. All right. Anyway, this cable. Oh, no, now it's coming off. This cable, oh, it's green, it's gross, it's yucky. Anyway, it also, let's see if you can see this. If you find a cable like this of any sort, look at that. It's like broken or chewed or something. If you find something like that, pitch it. Done. Now this thing could still be helpful. It could be. So I will screw the screws back in and set it aside with this thing. I will probably end up putting both of these things in a bag. Now that's an RF modulator for a Vic-20. It goes into the video port. It does. Has it been tested? No, it hasn't, but I'll see. Here is a cool thing. It's a joystick Y adapter. So, put it into the 64 of the Vic-20, get two identical things out. So you could have two different joysticks attached. I guess maybe it would mean you could have, if you were doing a game, somebody doing the moving and somebody doing the shooting. Or if you just, there were two different joysticks you liked, you could just have them connected all the time. Fascinating. What do we have here? A cassette tape. And all it says on it is side 1. Now it says Advantage. That was a computer sort of something company, so who knows? It's a mystery. A mystery indeed. And here is the typical horrible, terrible, poorly built, poorly designed. And this one has, well, it's kind of dirty. Anyway, an Atari joystick. Now, does it work? I don't know. It will have to be tested. And you know what? I have here in front of me a whole box of things that I have designated as things that need to be tested. I think. I think that's what I have here. Maybe I need to start another. Because there's all this other. Like, this is a whole box. Who knows? This whole box could be in here. Now, here is a better joystick. It's still not great, but it's better. It's kind of, I think, if I remember rightly, yeah, Wico. A lower, not the red ball or the red handle or whatever, but it's Wico. I'll just move it around. I don't hear anything terrible shaking. It probably is okay. It's not listing to one side. It only has a fire button on the top. And it's probably okay. But once again, it must be tested. And here is one. I don't believe I have seen another one of these before. Doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's bad. It is called a Point Master. And it does have a bigger sort of throw to it. It has a fire button on the top. And the typical joystick connector for the 64, the Vic-20, or the Amiga for that matter. 128 as well. So, does it work? I don't know. I will set it over here. Aha, here we have an Archer thing. This is what people say is an RF modulator. It's not. It's a switch. That's all it is. It's a switch. You have to hook your cable on for the TV. You have your game thing for the TV, and it switches which one goes in. Note, there's a switch. Slide up, slide down. Does it work? No. It needs to be tested. Oh, now here, this is something funky. It looks, well, it looks like it's another joystick Y connector. One in, two out. It just looks certainly a lot more substantial and better built and heavy duty and tough than the other one. But does it work? What else do we have here? Oh, looks like it's another Vic-20 RF modulator. It does. Funny, I thought they had, oh, there's a switch. They have a switch. It used to be the typical, you can pick channel 3 or pick channel 4. Another thing to be tested at a later date. Oh, here is an Atari cartridge. I missed this one. Indy 500. I will put it, looks in lovely shape. I'll put it on the pile there. Oh, here's another one. Warlords. Or yes, some sort of Atari. Alright, we're getting into some. Oh my, this is a big box. This is the power supply for an Amiga. And it would be for a 2000 HD, or a 2500, or any other variation. I believe around the world there were different names and variations and things and stuff. Now, does this really test it completely at all? No, not really. But if I turn it on and the fan spins, the fan spins. It's a good sign. It's 120 volts. Now that's not a good sign. Oh yeah, now it's winding down. Okay. I turned it off and the fan is stopping. I didn't think it was stopping, but it stopped. Okay, so we'll put that up there. What else? Oh my word. Wow, it's another joystick Y adapter. I never knew I had. I wonder if I've even ever looked through this box. Once again, to be tested. Oh, here is a very dirty serial cable to go between a 64 and a 1541 or a printer, and I'm sure it's fine. I will test it though. I will give it a cleaning. What is this thing? A mystery power supply. That's always exciting. With cords. Of course, it's funny when you get things in a box, you never know what cord goes with what, especially when things are tangled. Now, what is this? It's... no. It might say Nintendo on it. It certainly has an extensive cord. And a plug. Nintendo something. I do not have my specs with me. And I don't think there's a Nintendo thing in this box. So I will set it over here. And at some point, I'll find a way to test it. Now, what is this? Here is a cord with a... oh, this is one of those sort of generic-y power supplies that come with things and don't really have a brand name or say what they are. But they do what they do. They convert power and do good things. You just don't know what they belong to. This one is from General Electric. Plug in for use with telephones. Input 120 volts AC, 60 hertz. Output 9 volt DC. For use with telephones. This may be something. Well, you know, some stuff will go. I'm thinking I will probably go. Some things I will gather I'll put on the T-Pug freebie table. Aha, now here is something. Yes, it's another joystick thing. Never unwrapped. It's a joystick extension cable. So you can be farther away from your machine. I don't know how long it is. I've not unwrapped it. Oh my word. Oh, this box is the gift that keeps on giving. I found a cable of sorts. The box is trying to fall down. I think it's a serial cable, yes. I believe it has 6 pins. It's another 64, Vic-20, 128, whatever serial cable. Tested? No. Here is a white cable. And I think, aha, it's a power supply for a 64, potentially a Vic-20. And as it happens, I have right handy this beautiful tester made by Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel. So in a moment, I will be able to tell if the 5 volts on this power supply is good or dangerous. And, hang on, it reads 5.15, which is within specifications. Now, what am I going to do? Oh, 5.16 now. Maybe I'll just leave that sitting there for a moment, see if it goes crazy. And if this gets hot, maybe I'll just let that sit for a moment. But that's just a little, like it's not jumping a whole bunch, it's just settling. Here, oh, I know what this is. You know how I know what it is? Because it says right on the top. Right there, it's a joystick. Never would have guessed that. Looks like a sort of cheap something by somebody. Does it work? I don't know. Doesn't feel particularly well constructed. Ooh. I think this is another serial cable. It is. For Vic-20, Commodore 64, hook up a disk drive, a printer. What else is in here? It's not that big a box, but it's got a lot of little things. Aha, here is a slick stick. Another joystick. And some people have told me they really, really like these. I really haven't used them much. They have a very small throw to them, which may be an advantage. Plug looks good, but it needs to be tested. Now, let's look at this power supply. 5.16. Now, it does need a little cleaning, but one thing I'm going to do right now, yes, right now, is on the bottom, I'm going to write 5.16. This tells me that I have tested this, and it's no guarantee that the 9-volt works, because I'll still need to test it, but it's the 5 volts that kills machines. So I have written on there, which is a good thing, and I suspect what I will do with this actually is indeed take it and stick it in the box down below, and at some point I can fully test it, but that is a very good sign. Of course, everybody says, you can't trust those things, you can't trust them. Well, that's potentially true. Aha. Here, and I'm told, someone just told me recently, nobody makes a replacement for these. It's a Vic-20 power supply, and it is the old kind with the 2 prongs. And that's it. And it looks to be in pretty fine shape, but once again, untested. I think I will stick that directly in the box down below, where it can be set aside for future consideration. Oh, what do we have here? It looks like another well-preserved early Vic-20 power supply with the plugs intact. The power supply is looking pretty good, but does it work? Excellent question. We'll pop that down there. All right. Here we have what looks to be initial start is a Commodore 64 power supply, much like the last one. So as we're here, and we can quite quickly, and efficiently, and effectively, I will plug it in. I will take this beautiful tester. Always look for the lineup mark, and I will plug it in, and it is reading between 5.06 and 5.07, which is perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable, perfectly dandy. Lovely. So I think I'm going to leave this plugged in for a second, and then I'll see if it settles. But I think I'll put the higher number. Now what is this? Oh, okay. This would be for a Vic-20 or an early 64. It basically is a cable to let you plug in, like it extends the port. So you can plug in from farther away. It's a 5-pin. Won't work on the 8. Oh, would it? Oh, no. You could use this on an 8-pin as long as you used a 5-pin to finally get out. But an 8-pin cable will not go in this. Anyway, video extension cable. Alright, what do we have here? Oh, look. Once again, one of those things. This one. I think this one is toast. It is listing badly to one side. Well, maybe. It has a big throw to it. Maybe it's alright. I don't know. Maybe it just was sitting in the box for so long. Anyway, yes, as said on the bottom, it's a joystick. And this one, I don't know. It still is listing a bit to the left. I don't know if I have faith that it will come around and work, but I'll have to test it. Ha! Oh my. Oh, and here is a Commodore joystick. How joyful. Mostly good for display purposes. Really, never was very good. Never will be very good. But it does say Commodore. Does it need to be tested? Yes. They are plastic inside. It didn't take much to break them. Now here, I'm going to pull all these out together, I think. Is this all? Wait, is this something else? Oh, it's hard to tell when there's so many cables. Oh yes, another serial cable. All right, this I think is the last batch here. And here we have, it looks to be 3 sets of paddles. 3, I say. And paddles, I better try and get these out. Oh dear. Paddles are an interesting thing in that they come in pairs. Oh, I already see something weird here. Hang on. I better separate these out. Okay. What do we have? Now, as I remember, the Commodore paddles were pretty okay. Okay, that's one. That's, wires. It's not bad. They could use a face wash. Anyway, this would, of course, go into a port on the Vic-20 or the Commodore 64 and give you 2 game controllers. And typically these were used in, like, driving games of some sort. And you could have 2 players racing against each other. You could. And there were many things that used paddles. Many. And once again, of course, things to be tested. And I'm running out of space. And I don't want to tangle these with what else is in this box. Because here's something weird. Another funny cable. Oh, well, that's something weird. Oh, I've never seen this. It's a paddle, and there's only one. Who would have thought? I will put that up here. It needs to be tested. Usually they travel in pairs. So, oh, look. It's another paddle. 1. I believe Andrew is close at hand, but don't worry, Andrew. I'm almost finished. I've literally been going through this massive box of stuff, and I'm stuck on the microphone. And this is the last of it. Oh, okay, so here, what do we have here? This is just a typical sort of little line cord thing that would go to all kinds of devices. And I'm sure it works, but I will test it. And here is another set of Commodore paddles. They could use a little cleaning. They spin. They could also probably very likely need to be cleaned inside with some special cleaner that the name escapes me at this time. But kind of like radios where you get the volume control, where you turn it and it crackles and it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do, and things like that. They just get dirty inside, so they may need to be sprayed and then kind of worked some. All right, last thing, power supply. It's still reading 5.07. So I'm going to turn this over. And remember, it doesn't test the 9-volt. And I will write with this fine marker 5.07. So I know what is what. Oh, come on. I'm going to put that down here with things to be tested. And of course, when I test them, I'll torture them. So I have now an empty box. I have a full desk. Cheers. That's about all I have to say about that. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.